Okay, I'm live. Hi there. Happy Saturday. Isn't it the best to have a Saturday? I mean, my goodness. That is the best thing in the world, to have a Saturday. So, today, my topic for you is the magic bullet for deliberately creating what you want when you want it. And it looks like my mic levels are fine, so I'm just double checking that. As you notice, I have a different microphone today. This is a Blue Yeti, awesome microphone. And my other one, which I usually use, has a little trouble with the plug-in. And that's because I shoved it in my suitcase when I went to Mexico. But it was worth every minute, that Mexican trip on the land cruise with Abraham in near Cancun, Mexico. Love, love, love that land cruise. So that was not the land cruise, and everything that went with it was not a ho-hum life. But the topic today is ho-hum. What do you do when you have a ho-hum life? And a ho-hum life is, I want things better. I want things to be better in my life. But it's just kind of with the ho-hum attitude. Oh well, same old, same old. That's what every day brings for me. Same old, same old. But what you want, I assume you want, is a life that's full of passion, excitement, energy, expectation, discovery. Happy Saturdays all the time. Yeah. So that's what I think is the next level up. So how do you get out of this ho-hum life? Well, first of all, I'd like to go over what happened last week. And this is a summary of the keys to last week's learnings. Just kind of a soundbite to help you discover what you could use. So last week I went over the 17-second process, and I talked about the practical application of changing your life. And that was when each day when you wake up, you set the vibration for the day, and every single day, and look for something to appreciate. So you can have a great, great mindset to attract more of what you do want and less of what you don't want. And then take some breaks, and call them appreciation breaks during the day. And love, love, love the moment you are in. Because that's where all the power is in this moment, the moment you are in. It's not just something you need to push to, it's not just something you need to push away from. It is the journey on the way to the goal, and that happens in the moment. So cherish all you are and all you're able to live in the most powerful place in the planet. And the most powerful place in the planet is your inner being, your inner life. So to live in that way, from the inside out, is an awesome way to live. And not only that, when with the law of attraction, you create your own reality. So in this way, you become an energy shifter, and you have those higher vibrations going. So that's what you get, more of the higher vibrations. So how to do this intentionally, I went over that last week, is to always look for the highest value. That means look for the best feeling thought you can in the moment. Because law of attraction, its job is always to just match, match, match what you're currently feeling. And most of all, remember this one, don't cut off any of your body parts. Like I talked about the woman who cut off her toes. Don't do that. Don't go down that rabbit hole so far that you have a vibration going of self-destruct. So stop the momentum before you get there. Now today, what this is about is, the ho-hum life. That can be a silent killer, you know. And I'm going to talk about the next three broadcasts. So I'm going to call them the different stages of life and of change, what's really getting your attention, what's really knocking you in the head. And the first level is just a mild kind of, things don't feel quite right, I want something different, I want something other than a ho-hum life. The second stage, which is what I'm going to talk about next week, is I am sick and tired of what's happening to me right now. I want something different. And the third stage is where you are just yelling and screaming, you know, I want it different and I want it different now. So today we're going to talk about that one that's I call the silent killer. And that's just same old, ho hum. Oh well, it's going to get better. And it will. It really will. But momentum is so important. And if you're ho humming about life, that's what you're going to get. More of just same old, same old. So are you or someone you know at this stage? You know, it's where you go, if you're not familiar with it, it's where you go through life on automatic. And life just seems to be passing you by. So as you gaze at others that are laughing and having fun, you always think, oh, that's the other person. The other person. And this is like a silent killer of passion, discovery, and expectation, of great fun, and just plain fun in your life. So, do you have this kind of mental weariness where it's just like, oh dear? So, do you find yourself deep sighing? That kind of thing? So, or do you find yourself with boring evenings with uninteresting people on a deadening routine of tasks that you have to do over and over again? Or do you wake up thinking there's another tedious day here? Or thinking other people's dreams come true but not yours? And this is just like what you call a worrisome, yucky thought. So if you find at this stage of ho-hum or just same old, congratulate yourself. Whoa, I bet that surprised you. I said congratulate yourself, because things are going to get better from here. Because number one, you have been aware of what is happening in your life. And once you're aware, then you have the power in the present moment to change it. So there are others, you know, all around that live their life in desperate things, desperate ways. So, and they're not really aware of it. So sometimes I think it's a little bit easier to look at things when you see it in terms of like another dimension or another idea. And that would be like in fairy tales, ones that I'm sure you've all heard of or read. And I'm going to talk to you about Christopher Robin's story of Pooh Bear. Now, in Pooh Bear, the Pooh stories always end with Christopher Robin dragging Pooh, the bear, upstairs to bed, and bumps his head on every single step as he climbs up the stairs. You see, Pooh Bear was always dragged behind Christopher Robin by one leg, and on each rise, Pooh banged his head on the steps below. And Pooh is sure, double sure, that there's a better way of getting upstairs. And actually sure that he could work it out if only his head wasn't hurting too much. So like poor old Pooh, you may have been banging your head against something hard. And underlying, like the silent killer of boredom or the ho-hum life, that's about to change. And I think you want that change, or you wouldn't be listening to this broadcast. So be assured that others, including me, have been at this stage. So, you know, when I was young, I really discovered that things around me could shift. And I just shifted my point of view. You know, I really loved and adored my mother, but sometimes she drove me crazy, like Pooh Bear with Christopher Robin. You know, when Christopher would drag Pooh Bear upstairs and bang his head on the steps, that kind of crazy. You see, she had this nightly routine of coming in and doing the dishes, just as I was sitting down to do my homework. Now, I wanted to concentrate on my homework and do things that all teenage girls want to do, like talk on the phone or take a bubble bath or try the latest style on your hair and all that stuff. You know, I really like that, doing something with my hair. Crazy, huh? That teenagers would want to do something with their hair before they go to bed and get it all messed up. Well, that was part of the pleasure of being a woman, a young woman, and growing up. So, but my mother would always cut into this time. As she was washing the dishes, she would routinely list all the things she was not happy with that happened during her day. I would say, uh-huh, yeah, Mom, and try to concentrate on my work, just kind of putting her in the background. Then one day I realized that if I just gave her 5 minutes of focused attention and absolute focus and listened to her and then said, you know, Mom, I have to get my homework done here, and so I can get to bed early and be real fresh tomorrow for school. And then that was the simple solution. Absolute focused attention. And then my life shifted for the better. Now this was empowering for me to realize I could change my circumstances. Now I bet you too are wondering how you can escape the ho-hum, boring life of feeling like others have power over you, or there's no escape. Maybe you're feeling there's no escape of the deadening routine, or waking up thinking, here it is, just another tedious day, or just another day trying to do homework with your mom trying to tell her stories. Well, you don't have to live that way. And I bet you're wondering how you can escape it and have a better desired outcome. Well, I have some practical advice here. Sandra's practical advice to shift your energy. First, number one, find the wonderment of your day. You're lifting your vibration here. And this is really good reason why you want to find the wonderment of your day, because you are a magnet attracting whatever you're sending out in your words, thoughts, or actions. So if you're surrounded by boring tasks and boring people and that are cutting into your time, well, you're thinking about this too much. So change your thinking. Change your life. I bet you heard that one before. Change your thinking, change your life. Change your stinking thinking, change your stinking life. Yeah, I'm sure you heard it before, but I bet you haven't heard this one. Because only when you hold the vibration of good feeling, only when you hold the vibration of good feeling can other good feeling thoughts join you. It's really like each of us live on an island. And the people who come to visit you read the signs you print and put on the flagpole. So if a passerby who wants the company of a happy person sees a flag that you've put up and it says another boring, tedious day, guess what? He's not going to paddle to your island. He's going to paddle right past your island. Whoa, that's not one I want to go to. But say another person who is also having another tedious, boring day, he's going to just sail right in there to your island. And then the both of you can complain and talk. And if you have Facebook, you could even put it on Facebook about how boring and tedious your days are. So then there would be two of you. You see, that's how law of attraction works. It just attracts, matches what the vibration is. And one of the many processes I use in my coaching practice to shift the energy of my client is called the 68-second process. And I want to share it with you here today so that you can get some visitors to your island. And there are many, many happy, surprising things that will make your days fun instead of boring when you use this process. I got a couple quotes here that kind of say what I'm talking about that might hit it a little deeper for you. So this one is from Lewis Carroll. And Lewis said, I have seen so many extraordinary things. Nothing seems extraordinary anymore. Wouldn't that be something to say that for your life? You might just end it a little bit different and say something like, I have seen so many extraordinary things. And now what? Yeah, then that opens it up to new possibilities. You don't want to have the end to your extraordinary things. So, then there's this quote, and this one is by William Martin. So it says, do not ask your children to strive for extraordinary lives. Such striving may seem admirable but it's a way of foolishness. Help them instead to find the wonder and the marvel of the unfolding of an ordinary life. Show them the joy of tasting tomatoes and apples and oranges. Show them how to cry when pets and people die. Show them the infinite pleasure in the touch of a hand, and make the ordinary come alive for them. The extraordinary will take place of itself. So he really is talking about the law of attraction, because if you take your ordinary life, your ordinary things happen, and you think extraordinarily beautiful thoughts like happy Saturday, or it's a beautiful day today, or just, I don't want to be Pollyanna about this, but if you think those good thoughts, those good feeling thoughts, other good feeling thoughts will join them, and then pretty soon you will extraordinarily have an extraordinary day. And it's always a really surprise and fun way to go. So my invitation to you is to begin living every moment as though a miracle is happening, and you deserve to live an extraordinary life. So fake it if you must, just keep faking it, but it'll be real soon enough. And your gift is going to be given a long life of discovery, and one that's infinitely rewarding. So begin the journey. Start it right now. Now on to that 68-second process. I maybe even talked about it a little bit last week, but I'm going to talk about it some more because it's such an extraordinarily good process. Now, it only takes 68 seconds to catapult the most ordinary thing, ordinary day, into extraordinary in a blink of the eye. Now the 17-second process, it's also called 17-second process because you start with 17 seconds. It used to be even longer than that, but the energies have speeded up so much we don't need to put so much time on it. Facebook, all the technology, everything has speeded up. So I wanted you to know that I have used this process successfully for many, many years with clients. And the very first place I read it was in Abraham's book, Ask and It Is Given. And that book is just a classic now on law of attraction. So if you haven't read it yet, get it, put it on your shelf with all your good books, your classic books. And I was amazed at how easily I could shift my energy towards more soothing thoughts on any subject when I used this process. Now, it's quite automatic now, and I'm often amazed at how my life and my mind just shifts itself. So if I'm going down a hole, like that rabbit hole of poor me, resentment, or any other emotional thought that's just not so good, I find that with clients, this magic bullet of the 68 seconds will just pull you right out of there. And I've also found that it's really, really good when things are going wrong. It's just a shift in perception, a shift in using the law of attraction to attract more of what you want and less of what you don't want. And the little tip of the iceberg here is you will not make any progress, no progress whatsoever, none, if you continue to argue for your limiting beliefs. If you continue to allow that, yes, I'm a victim here. This is what happened to me, and this is what happened to me, and this is how I felt. If you're continually arguing, texting, Facebooking, telling all your friends about a limiting belief where you were a victim, that's what you're going to get, is more of that with everybody you meet. And really, it's very comical after you get into the habit of looking at things with the big picture. When things come slamming into your life, it's really funny. Yeah, I really get a kick out of stuff like this. Yeah, I do. So now I'm going to explain the process, the 17-second process. I know you've been waiting for it. So if you hold a thought, any thought, for 17 seconds, without contradicting that thought, another thought exactly like it, the same vibration, same size, same tone, will join in because of the law of attraction. At precisely the 17-second point, these two thoughts will join each other and merge. And when these two thoughts join, their energy is expanded, kind of like a combustion. When the combustion occurs, if the thought is a positive one, you're going to feel enthusiasm, energy, vitality, and bubbling within you. It just feels good. Now, in the moment of the 17 seconds, these two thoughts become bigger and faster. Everything gets faster. So then just go for the gold. If you can focus on the same subject for another 17 seconds or 34 seconds more, a more evolved thought will attract onto it. Your thoughts are going to attract each other, and another combustion will occur. At the point that the two thoughts become one, then you have more faster vibration. And if you can maintain your attention now and cross the 68-second mark, you have an explosion big enough to manifest something. So looking at it in another perspective here is 17 seconds of pure thought is equal to 2,000 hours of action. So if you were working a regular 40-hour-a-week job, and that's about how much you work in a year, and you cross the 34-second mark, you can multiply your action by 10 or 20,000 action hours of what you work in about 10 years. If you can cross the 51-second mark 3 times or 17 seconds, you can multiply it by 10 again. A 200,000 action hour equivalent, or 2 million man hours, or about 100 years of working 40 hours a week. If you cross the 68-second mark over a minute of pure, concentrated, non-diluted thought, it's equivalent to 2 million hours of action hours. That's a ton of hours. So don't you think the process is well worth practicing? Don't you think so? So if you can do, the way you can do it successfully is just, you need to have no resistance. And it has to be pure, positive focus. If you slip into any feelings of lack or doubt or poor me or anything like that, you just got to get, it just doesn't work. And so then what you do is you climb back up on that horse. If you fall off that horse in the 68-second process, just climb back up on it and do it again. The main thing is to practice. Practice, practice, practice. You know, most people rarely even finish a sentence without contradicting their energy, such as, I want a new car, but it's too expensive. Or I want to lose weight, but it's really too hard. So if you haven't had a lot of practice at pure, undiluted thought, focused thought, practice, practice, practice. And you could do this by just thinking it in your head as you're driving. You could practice with a friend, maybe a Facebook friend, or you could hire a coach. And I'm available to help you practice. So the best way to focus is, just plain feel good. Crazy, isn't it? That's the very best thing, is just to feel good. You can only do this. Everything will fall in place if you do this, because your financial situation, your relationships, everything around you will match up into the good vibrating thoughts. Happiness, happiness and feeling good is the key to fantastic combustion with other things that are happy and feeling good. And it's magical, and it's just beyond compare when you see this happening in your life. So as a little homework assignment, should be more powerful about that, spend your first week writing the 68 seconds about the things maybe you don't care too much about. And this is just so you can kind of see how this works. So maybe you could do it about something like feathers or pennies, or the color green. Well, there's lots of green. I live in the Northwest. Maybe the color red. And just say, you know, something like, I want to feel red. And then you go into the 17 seconds or the 68 seconds of pure, undiluted thought about red, and watch the magic happen as red enters your life, or a feather floats down in front of you. And as you do something simple or general like that in the 68-second thought, it will prove to you that this indeed is a good process. So now I wanted to say a little note with an asterisk here. Do you believe that the 68 seconds is equivalent to 2 million man-hours? Even if you believe just part of that, you'll find the time to do that 68 seconds and let the universe do the rest. And it's fun. It's just plain fun. So your homework is, twice a day, write down the 68 seconds. It's 68 seconds, people, about the areas in your life, and do it for 30 days. You will have thousands and thousands of opportunities during your life or during your day to see abundance in your home, improve your job situation, your health situation, everything about you. Improve. Now this is an example of how I use the process. So, when I'm driving home, I think I'm going to sneeze. Nope. When you're driving home, or when I'm driving home, I say things like this. How beautiful this drive is. You know, I love the foliage here in the Northwest. It's so plump and green and juicy. I love seeing the cows in the field, their black shapes and their just their bodies and the way they look against the green is fantastic to me. It just gets my creative juices going. You know, there are so many things that are happy to see on green grass. Sometimes I see deer, or a lot of times I see rabbits, and this morning I even saw an eagle. I see lots of things. You know, nature plays with me when I think good thoughts. I love this planet. I love the way every single day I get a new day. Every single day. I don't even have to think about the planet spinning in its orbit. I don't have to even think about it. It just does it all on its own. You know, I just love it when people on the road practice safety. They do. Look at all these cars. They are all practicing safety. And I know and I love that pretty soon I'm going to have a cup of nice, warm, hot tea when I get home and talk about my day with my husband, maybe watch a good TV program, and then write in my journal and have a really good evening. So then I get to go to a warm bed, pull up my red flannel sheets, and just have a really good night's sleep. So did you see how the vibe was pretty good, wasn't it? It was lifting, lifting, lifting. And that's going to make for a nice evening for me. It's also going to make it so the universe, the law of attraction, can bring other things that match that vibe. So this is some frequent asked questions that I get as a coach from some of my clients. And one of them was, I keep falling out of this 68-second process. Well, one of the things you want to do is start by going general with thoughts that you don't have a lot of resistance to. And I did that in the one I just told you. But general things might be like, I love nature's beauty. Every day the sun comes up and a new day begins. I'm giving it to me automatically. Isn't it wonderful, you know? Isn't it wonderful that our planet does just keep working so well? So just general things like that. And then you go into the specific ones. This was another FAQ, frequent asked question, by one of my clients. Okay, Sandra, I did that. But I don't feel I'm getting where I want to feel. So that alone, that statement alone means the vibe is off. And you feel the lack in that, and you feel the resistance in that. So just remember, keep this in the back of your head, that your path of least resistance is actually nurturing you. It's actually urging you and giving you more momentum towards what you'll find alignment in. So even if it doesn't look too hot, you're on your way to more hot, more good stuff. So when clarity comes in more in alignment, when you see what you don't want. So that's the resistance. So if you want fast momentum with no resistance whatsoever, it takes a lot of practice. And the practice is fun. It's just a fun thing. Play with it. And when doing the process, number one, go general first, and then go general again. And if you feel a resistance, like you're being slammed down that rabbit hole, then simply just get back up and do it again, and do it again. Now this was a story that Abraham told about in one of his books or lectures or something. I found it on the internet, and this was his story. So a woman had a fun demonstration of deliberate creation while on vacation in New Mexico last year. She was coming down the road from a tram and realized that the one thing she wanted to see and do in Albuquerque was to see a road runner. And she had seen a lot of things. She was on a birding journey. She had seen lots and lots of birds, but she hadn't seen a road runner yet. So driving down the road, she talked to her friend, and her friend was Kate, named Kate, and she talked to her about 68 seconds about the wonderment of a road runner. And how fun, she said things like about how fun road runners are, and how exciting it would be to see to them, and how much fun it was to be birding and with her friend here in New Mexico, and on, about 68 seconds of good feeling thoughts. And sure enough, they came around the corner, and there was, you guessed it, the road runner. And he just did his thing. He stood up, and he preened, and he let him take pictures. And it was all very satisfying for them to feel that the 68-second process had worked and got him a road runner. Now, I have a story, too, about swimming with the dolphins. When I actually have lots of stories about the 68-second, but this was the one that came to mind when I was figuring out the content I wanted to bring you today. So I was in Hawaii with my daughter and my husband, and it was my birthday. And it was my birthday, and we were in a store. I was showing the store owner some of my clothing. I had my clothing line then, Sanders Fine Art Apparel, and I was showing her my line of clothes. And she said, well, I love your clothes. I think that they're fantastic, but they're really not a fit for my look in the store. And I said, I know, I realize that, but I wanted to show them to you anyway. She said, She said, do you think people are attracted together for reasons? And I said, oh yeah, I really do. I really do feel they're attracted together for a reason. And especially, you know, this just is a really good day for me because it's my birthday. And she said, it's your birthday? I said, yeah, it's my birthday. And she said, well, what's your birthday wish? I said, I want to swim with the dolphins. And she said, well, guess what? You can do just that. Because I swim with the dolphins every single day. It's kind of a thing I do. I have my own private pod out in the ocean, and I put on my wetsuit and I swim out there. But tomorrow I wanted to bring my daughter, and I was feeling a little leery about having her in a canoe and me swimming because, you know, I couldn't really keep track of her. So if you would accompany us, that would be great. In fact, why don't you just come and stay with us tonight, and then we can get an early start, have breakfast, and chat about things that are fun. And I thought that this is a dream come true. This is a fantastic dream come true. So sure enough, we stayed there, we got fed, and the next day we paddled out to those dolphin pads. She swam. We paddled. And we swam with the dolphins, the wild dolphins. And it was fantastic. And I have lots of other stories, and you're going to have them too. The more you use that 68-second process, good feeling thoughts, high energy vibration, the more you will attract fun things into your life, like swimming with the dolphins on your birthday. There was another thing that happened too. It's just a current story. And while I was editing, while I was working on the copy of the content for today's broadcast, it disappeared. It disappeared, yeah. I was putting it also on Jigsaw Box, which is a new program that I have for my coaching clients, and I will be launching that soon, pretty soon. It's going to be really well worth investing in. So, anyway, and it was gone. And I thought, holy cow, it spent, quite a lot of time on it. And so I thought, okay, this is really funny. I'm writing about the 68-second process, and what I've done is destroyed my content, or had it disappear. So I thought, I'm going to take a break now. So I took a break, and I started that process, and I said, everything always does work out for me. I wonder what the universe has in mind for me, because if I need to do this content again, then there must be something better for me, because the universe, my source, my most expanded self, always has my back. So there must be something better. And, I'm kind of excited about it. Yeah, I'll have to do it all over again, but I bet it'll be better and whatever. I'm ready. I'm just ready for whatever is my next step here in a very high energetic way. And so then when I came back, I thought, I wonder what the discovery will be. And so then I looked, and you know what? Jigsaw Box has a little line right across the top of it where it says, you have an autosave. You have an autosave of your most recent content. And I clicked on it, and voila! Combustion. There was my content. I was so excited that, yeah, here I am writing about the 68-second process, and here it is just rolling out right for me. So I can share it with you. How's that for great, great stuff? I just love it. Okay, so now I have a couple recipes for you. Yeah, the cooking girl here. The cooking girl of law of attraction. So this is a recipe that was given to me in Energy Mastery class with Karen Wilson, and it's called the Gratitude Sandwich. Now the Gratitude Sandwich is 3 parts. You have the bread, in a sandwich, and then you have the filling. So the bread is gratitude. So 2 parts gratitude and equals 1 part love. So when you think of and you need comfort food, you need to feel better, then you don't want to spend calories, you just want to feel good, well, just eat the sandwich. Go on the top of the sandwich is gratitude, and on the bottom of the sandwich is gratitude, and the filling, the middle part, is love. So that's the 2-part GTL recipe for feeling better. And then there's another recipe on the internet about the recipe for deliberate creation. And it has 10 parts. So it's 5 parts of appreciating what is, 2 parts of imagining something a little better, and 2 parts of looking for things that would make you feel better. And 1 part of quieting your mind and relaxing and not trying so hard and just be at ease with it. Because struggle is a lower vibration. Lack is a lower vibration. Now, a helpful hint. Then just start with the subject and just write whatever comes to mind. That would be a helpful hint for the 68-second process. And the advantage is that writing has you more focused on the 68-second process. So this is just some helpful hints. And don't keep your eye on the clock or set a timer or anything. Just go for it. Write down just whatever comes to your mind for 68 seconds or more. And then after that, just go about your day and forget what you wrote. And think about then in a few days, whatever you wrote down that you wanted. So to back up here a little bit, write down maybe 68 seconds of what you want. So before I talked about feathers or the color red. So a helpful hint is just to sit down and write about, I want the color red to enter my life. And I love the color red. I love surprises, things like that. Positive, high vibrating thoughts. And then just put it to one side and wait and see how that color red comes into your life. So now a little summary, a big summary, of what has transformed in this last hour with you. And so in summary, the magic bullet to shift you out of a ho-hum-drum life is to get happy. So happiness trumps everything, everything. It trumps all the self-help books, self-help groups, all the gurus. It's just so darn simple. So practice it. Get happy. And if you need more of a push towards happiness, do the 17-second process. Look about things to appreciate and make happiness a thought. Happiness a thought in your mind that happens a lot. Make it a habit. So line up your energy as often as you can in as many ways as you can. And if you have done it, say you've done that 68% process, 68-second process, 2 times, 3 times a day, you have put in a very productive life or day, very productive day, which will make your life more productive. So the magic bullet for deliberately creating what you want when you want it is get happy. Simple, practice it, do the 68 seconds, process, anything else that can lift your vibration. And that's it for today. That's it for the content that was specially prepared for you and delivered by me, Sandra Longmore. And when you get in touch with me, you just go to my internet site. Everything is under my name, sandralongmore.com. Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, all of them, sandralongmore.com. And next week, I'm going to talk to you about stage 2 of how to shift your life. And at stage 2, you or someone you know may be saying, I want things to be better in my life. Well, we're going to explore this together. And I can hardly wait to bring the content forward because I can feel it up there on the right side of my brain waiting to come through my fingers on my keyboard. And I'll bring it to you next week. Have a fantastical week, and Sunday's Mother's Day. Have a happy Mother's Day. It's a good vibe. Mothers are a good vibe. Even if sometimes people don't know that, being a mother is definitely a good vibe.